Good evening, YouTube. You guys are now watching another segment of the Cali Effect. I'm here with Zerota.
Hey.
She's my nigga. And I'm also here with D-Fish Fan.
Yellow.
And today we're going to be talking about the new series that will be replacing Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. We'll be talking about Arc V. A very interesting series as I can see right now. But I'll let Zerota take the floor to say what she has to say.
Okay, thanks for giving me that moment. Before I continue, I do want to have something to say about my personal channel or my YuGiOh channel. I have not been posting any videos as of late, but that will change. I've been going through some difficult stuff and I'll be fine, and thank you for letting me be a voice in your video, and I'm going to answer your question, or actually talk about the topic, the new TV series for Yu-Gi-Oh! I think there should be a new TV series because Zexal, yeah,
Zexal was trash. I don't care who says, "Oh, you haven't seen the whole thing." I didn't need to see the whole thing. It's a 5-year-old kid playing Yu-Gi-Oh! His voice is annoying, his face is annoying, and he plays Utopia. Do I need anything else? I hate him.
Yeah, pretty much everything about him is annoying. It doesn't matter if he is playing in the Japanese series or even in the American ones. He is annoying.
Did you actually watch the whole thing?
What? Almost. I'm at the part where where two of the characters become variants.
Okay, so you've watched at least a good portion of it, and you still don't like it. So we have evidence that Zexal sucks.
Well, not only that, it's basically, this is the thing, the whole concept about the Varian world, Astral world, that is good. That has a good, strong substance and has a lot of potential. The part where they mess up is the main character. and it's childlike friends. They really mess up. Even if they want this to be a children's card game for a reputation type of thing, they will fail miserably.
I think that was a horrible idea. D-Fish Fan, you got something else to say or build on top of that?
I think potential is the perfect word. Like, going back to 5Ds, that was the biggest. Like, even though I know a lot of people, including you guys, really enjoyed 5Ds, and I could say I did as well up until the ending. So, like, the ending, I felt they had so much good potential story that they could have went so many different directions they could have went. In the direction that they did go, I won't spoil it for whoever hasn't watched it, but
I don't even remember it.
Yeah,
I think I know what he's talking about. Also, the American version of it decided to stop at some point, where the Japanese version still continued.
Oh, so it's still more to be desired.
The 5D series in America never reached completion when it comes to voiceovers. So if you want to watch the rest of, I don't know, the 10 episodes it was, or 10 to 15 episodes, you have to watch them in Japanese, in the Japanese language.
Oh, okay. What I wanted to say...
They did the same with GX, by the way.
Oh, wow. Didn't know that either.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say about 5Ds is that when I first heard of 5Ds, I thought it was the worst thing ever. And still, to this day, I think dueling on motorcycles is probably the dumbest thing ever. But they really saved that show, like, especially when they started getting off the motorcycles and dueling. That's when I really started getting interested in it.
Yeah.
Because
and then also the Earthbound Immortals, or Immortal Earthbound. How do you say?
I didn't think that was a bad part of it. I think that was that was pretty good.
That was one of the things I loved. The part I loved about that series, and here's a spoiler by the way, is when the female character dies. She's being thrown out the window.
Oh, really? Come on. Did you really have to tell me that? I'm watching the whole thing all over again.
Yeah, you have to.
I don't remember much.
But that part really got me somehow. I also have an image where her dark side tries to kill her in a reflection. Yeah, it's amazing artwork. If I can share it, if I can find it, I'll drop it in the description. I'm also trying to copy this video and put it on my own channel, if that's okay.
I'll send you the thing. I'm pretty bad at uploading people to other people's channels. D-Fish Fan knows. But I'll definitely send you the file.
Her name was Callie. I think her name was Callie or something.
Oh, really?
Or Callie
really?
Something.
Now we're really gonna... I'm coming up to the Netherlands and we're gonna fight, okay? We're gonna fight. You really just really spoiled. I would have fell in love with her, okay? Okay? Real tears right here. All day. Every day. No sleep. Want to go night-night? Now, what else does she play? What does she play? Just go ahead and tell me.
She's an interesting character on her own.
But
I mean, if you just... you mean, what does she... She's the one with the Fortune Lady deck.
Oh, never mind. I guess I don't like her. Fortune Lady suck ass.
No, she does amazing stuff with it.
Yeah, but back to the original subject. Hopefully, what I'm seeing in Arc V, we get some type of... Because the guy, he doesn't look really young. But then again, he looks older than the other guy. Let's just put it that way. He doesn't look that bad. And hopefully we won't get whatever his name is. What's the new guy name?
Yuma.
Yeah, hopefully we don't get another Yuma reject. Because I feel that that's probably most of the viewers' problem with the new series. Is because you have him, his voice is... He's just... like just right there. I don't care how you put it.
Sakaki that's his name.
Huh?
Sakaki Yuwa, that's his name.
Sakaki
the new
Yuwa?
character. Yeah.
Sounds like Bukaki Yuwa.
But again, another name with a Y that starts with a Y, and I'm like, okay.
So original. We love that.
I love how they just like, well, because with Jaden, his last name was Yuki though. That's right.
Well, but still, it's still, yeah, it was. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like. Come on, bro. How come you can't have a Tyrone on YuGiOh? His name would be Tyrone. Like, I think that'd be amazing. Just name him Tyrone.
Can I interject here?
Huh?
Can I interject?
Yes.
We were talking about why Zexal is a failure and a waste of money. If you look at it from a marketing perspective for Konami, they really should take a closer look at the first TV series that they started with, because that contains the substance for YuGiOh on itself. I mean, just the look of it, the Egyptian theme, the shadow games, and stuff like that.
Losing your soul, getting stuff taken, guns. Oh my god, that was the best series. That one in Season 0.
Not only that, if you take a look at Zexal on itself had a very good world concept. If you take a look at Astral World, Barian World, that is good stuff. Just the character, the main character, ruins everything. And even certain friends of him that support him on his quest, they ruin it. They're such babies.
Oh my god, like nobody wants...
First Taya, how do you say it?
Oh my god, I love Taya.
Oh, damn. No,
Taya, I love Taya. What do you mean? I hated Tristan.
Taya was horrible.
I hated Tristan until I seen Season 0. Tristan had a purpose in Season 0.
Taya was a female Tristan.
Oh no, Taya was all about friendship and keeping the people together. Tristan was, I don't know, he was just there. Tristan's like TJ, he's just there.
In a way, that's the part I like about Taya, but the fact that she overdoes it, kills it, that's the thing. It's always the same mentality being expressed.
Well, at least she played more games than Tristan.
No.
Yes.
Tristan played a game.
Tristan played a game. Taya played at least 2 that I can recall.
No, she played 1.
She played against Mai, and she played against that damn penguin in the 3rd season. Yeah, she played at least 2, and she whooped Mai's ass.
Alright, I'll give you that.
At least he beat a contender. From what I know, Tristan lost. The only game he played, he lost. Fucking scrub.
What I wanted to make a point about the first TV series is that Konami was already trying to make it somewhat a children's card game, but it never worked out that way, because if you take a look at the first TV series and even the series before that, I think it was...
Season 0, oh my god.
Season 0 or something?
Season God. It's called Season God.
Oh, okay.
It's the best season ever.
If you take a look at that stuff, it's never going to be a children's card game, no matter how much they want to try it.
Yeah, they should just abandon that. I mean, look at the Magic player base. They are very, I want to say their age is probably at least at the youngest the 20s, and at the oldest I couldn't even tell you, but their mid-range is probably like 40. A lot of mature players. The player base is amazing. The support is pretty good. The prizes are godsend. Like, Konami in terms needs to look at Magic, a 30-plus-year-old card game, in terms of keeping a franchise successful. I think that that's crucial.
And there's another thing I want to touch on, is if you take a look at the artwork of YuGiOh cards, I don't see a children's card game when at first glance. If you take it at face value, if I show my card collection to any random person, and if I ask them what age would you rate this for an average public, they wouldn't say 6-year-old unless you show them Pokemon cards.
Unless
then
you
they
show them
would
down
say
wind-ups and fucking gun and Utopia.
Yeah, but that's
Keep
just
in mind,
fine.
that's all from Zexel.
Those are the minor rejects we can ignore. At some point in time, we get another Stardust Dragon, for example, Stardust Spark Dragon.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't look like. I mean, while it can be for a 6-year-old, I really wouldn't put it to it. Even the wording, even the way they tried to dumb it down. But no matter how you put it, the way that this card game is worded, a 6-year-old can't fully comprehend. I'm sorry, Konami.
No, they can.
It's not even easy for a 12-year-old to comprehend.
No, exactly.
They have
so it's never going to be a children's card game. How hard they want to try with the TV series, it's never going to be that. They're going to waste a lot of money. That's why they will never exceed or succeed as Magic the Gathering. Or even Hearthstone. If you take a look at Hearthstone, the World of Warcraft creators, Blizzard, they just created Hearthstone, which is a new trading card game that you can only play on the computer.
I'm never playing it.
Let's say they are 4 times the size of YuGiOh, if you would ask me, if not more.
Okay, let me interrupt D-Fish Fan again. I want to correct a couple of things. YuGiOh. Well, I don't want to say now, but YuGiOh was bigger than Magic around 2009 or 10. YuGiOh sold more cards than Magic and was a more popular franchise than Magic at that time.
That's one thing I never knew. That's one thing you're just telling me this. I've always thought that Magic the Gathering was always bigger.
No, it wasn't always bigger. There was a time where YuGiOh, well, it probably still is the #1 card game in the world. But it's declining so fast. Like you said, Magic I wouldn't even, now when I go to locals, I see bigger Magic tournaments than YuGiOh tournaments. We have one competitive
I see more
locals.
Magic the Gathering players. I also see a lot more people quitting YuGiOh and moving on to Magic.
Or Hearthstone or Vanguard or all that other stuff.
I can tell you why they do that, because a lot of people in YuGiOh, the YuGiOh players, have become greedy, violently greedy, to the point where they even steal cards and
and the player base in Magic is nothing like
Look,
that.
I have 2 of Mikazuchis. You don't. Wah ha ha. I see that happening at locals.
Yeah, but what did you say, D-Fish?
Well, okay. Here's what I want to propose. Like all this talk about how they should, what we were alluding to about they should give an adult series a chance. Like, I think that's exactly it. They should at least try it out. Like, what's it gonna hurt? Just one series.
You can't lose. I mean, you're already losing.
What do you mean?
No, they're already losing production and sales and players, so like it can't hurt.
I mean, just give it a shot. Like one series where the focus isn't like little kids fighting over friendship, and and if it works, it can potentially save all the people that they're losing. If it doesn't, then it doesn't work. They can go back to whatever they want to do.
And you want to know what's so crazy? Is that when we say adult, you don't have to put any sex, drugs, guns, and violence. Just stop with the kid shit. Like, just stop it. Just stop it, please.
Like,
just
also, what I think would work is that they work more on the character storyline, their basic background, and their complexities, their dreams, their emotions, really something that drives them. And they did that in the first TV series with Yugi Yami, or Atam, his real name is as a Pharaoh. He really had a drive to find out who he was in the past, and it drove him to the point where it took basically everything at the cost of everyone to get
he was
answers.
evil too. Like he was evil at a time, he was good at a time, he was selfish, he was greedy. It was so many aspects that said, hey, I'm human. I'm not the best guy. I try every day to do my best, but at the end of the day, I'm not, I'm human. I'm just a king. That's the only thing that separates me from you. I try my best to do the best, but when things bad happen or if greed comes upon me,
that's exactly the stuff that sells, the stories that catch on. We don't care about the cards. Yeah, eventually we will care about the cards and how you can play them.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the story, I mean, every card should also have a story behind it for some reason. That really makes it catchy. I mean, if you take a look at YuBell has a great storyline.
Except for YuBell too.
That's my reason for playing YuBell if I play YuBell as a deck.
Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a girl. Or
No,
it's
it's
a boy.
no, neither. As far as I've been looking into the whole discussion about it, you have to look into the Japanese version of it if you really want to know. But if you take a look at just the TV series, it doesn't matter. The whole gender thing of YuGiOh it's neglectable.
Oh. You know what? I've always thought it was
It's
a boy.
never going to mean anything to the thing. But if you take a look at the images, you see one half of the body has a boob and the other half has a male part of the chest. No, it really has.
Yeah, now that I think about it, it does.
Half woman if you take a look at the body.
So it's a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yeah.
It's just a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
I figured. I was like, I'm not going to say it's a boy girl. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Hey. Kenobi found a way to get past that.
Yep.
It's a neglectable gender.
Yeah.
Really shouldn't get you distracted by it.
And not everything should be classified as a boy or girl. I mean, look at this person on the Yu-Gi-Oh Arc V. I don't know if he's a boy or a really, really young girl. I still can't tell. But I guess it doesn't matter until it opens up his voice. Or she.
I don't know. It would surprise me if it's a tomboy.
I think if it was a girl, I would watch it. I don't care what happens. I would watch
That's
it. If it
something
was
they
a
really
girl,
should do. The main character, main female character, that would be interesting.
I would watch it. I wouldn't care. I just would watch it. Just to see her talk. Nothing else. Not for the story. Just so I can say Yu-Gi-Oh had a girl main character.
But not only that, if they choose to make a female character, it should open up doors to much more, or many more storylines and background stuff, and more mystical things, and everything that drives her and stuff like that. That is what catches people.
I propose that once a month, they should not air her. Like, she should not appear in any of the episodes. Like, for once a month. I propose that.
Hey, that sounds fine.
You guys already know why, right?
Why?
Because she's badass. She doesn't need to appear in all episodes. What you thought I was going to say?
That's one thing that could really get... that's one thing that could really get Konami back into the whole marketing game strategy.
The next biggest thing, since I've decided I wanted to delay this as further as possible because I know people love our discussions, is are they introducing a new mechanic to Yu-Gi-Oh with Arc V? Because if you guys have seen, other than Yu-Gi-Oh Season 1, which basically introduced Yu-Gi-Oh, all of the other seasons introduce something new or support something. As GX supported fusions, 5Ds brought in synchros, and Zexo brought in X-Seeds. Is Arc V bringing in something else to the table?
Maybe. And if they do, I really want something
Put rituals to the extra deck.
helps out.
Put rituals to the extra deck.
Maybe.
Put rituals to the extra deck. That's what they need to do.
That's not gonna happen though.
Why?
Okay, so why is because they're Konami. Like, remember what the other discussion we had about them saying, "All right, we're sorry we messed up," and just eroding the cards instead of having like a 400 card ban list.
Instead of saying we fucked up. Okay.
Yeah. So they're not gonna do that with rituals or whatever.
No, if it's going to screw up the game mechanics because there are cards that specifically say that you can add a ritual monster card to your hand.
Well, but then that's where it goes to being errata.
Yeah, exactly.
That would go to the errata piece.
Mess up a lot of old cards, and basically a lot of players who already have the cards are going to be like, you know what? If I need to burn this card,
or actually,
I just bought it for nothing.
Maybe the ritual monster is in your extra deck, but when you summon the monster, it still goes from your extra deck to your hand.
Yeah, that could work too.
I mean,
Maybe.
give them some new mechanic. It's rituals.
It just says deck to your hand. But okay, I want to, before I forget, because I usually do forget what I'm going to say, I want to say that people have been wondering like what the next mechanic could even be, because none of us saw Exceeds coming, but when you think about it, it's a pretty simple game mechanic. Like, you just overlay them. It's pretty nice.
I like her. I like Exceeds. I also like synchros. The whole concept behind it. It's amazing.
I want to see like fusion spell and traps.
It's going to be future summoning.
Future summoning.
Future summoning. See, the thing is, you summon a certain monster, and then you send it to your banish zone. Then the next turn, you get a stronger monster from your extra deck. Future summoning.
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
just
I like
pulled
the
it up out of my
concept.
ass.
I know. Well,
The thing is, when you... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
The thing is, when you think about adding new game mechanics, you should really watch out for how broken they can become in the future. This is the mistake that YuGiOh has made since the beginning when they invented certain cards. When new mechanics arrived, a lot of cards had to be banned simply because of the new game mechanics that can abuse older cards.
New cards. What I'm trying to think, what cards were banned?
Well,
Other than Rescue Cat.
For example, when
Oh, there are a lot of cards that Future Fusion is one of them.
Oh, Future Fusion, yeah, you're right. Future Fusion was
During the fusion times, it was amazing. It was an amazing card, and also the idea behind it. It was like, well, within 2 turns, I'm gonna have a bigger guy on my board, and it's going to beat you up.
And then Chaos Dragons got into the mix.
And not only that, there were ways to abuse that card by sending it back to your hand.
And then T-Hero. And
It
then
was
all that other stuff.
constant, massive, foolish burial, also for the worms.
Yeah. And then Fusion Gate is one of those borderline cards and is the reason why Stratos is banned.
And also, it was the easy Quasar.
Yeah, you right.
Threat.
You right. You right. You always right. I'm going to call you Mrs. Right.
I've just been paying attention, that's why it's not like I'm always right. It's just that trying to be very observant when I see certain additions coming to a game like YuGiOh. I'm like, okay, are you guys for real? This is going to have some abusive potential in the future with new game mechanics.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying future summoning. It's perfectly balanced. Nobody will play that trash.
I actually like it.
You like it?
I want to touch on certain game mechanics for future purposes, if we are already talking about it, just in case before I forget it, just like Gil has that going on. I've been recently playing Hearthstone, for those who don't know. That's also a reason why I was a little bit of absent on my channel. There's a specific type of game mechanic as a card that you can play. It's called a weapon. And it's different from spell cards. Basically, if you think about weapons in YuGiOh, you think about equipped spell cards, right?
Yes.
Here's the thing, with a weapon in Hearthstone, it's not your minions using that card to attack or having a buff, but it's your hero. As a player, you get to attack either a minion or do direct damage. That's an amazing game mechanic and has a lot of potential.
Okay.
Also, it's a card that, or a type of card that makes it a very good top deck type of card. If you are losing, because this is the thing with Hearthstone, it's currently in a generation where during turn 2, if you go second and your opponent does a certain thing, there's no way to get back into the game. This thing is also still going on in YuGiOh. There are certain things that your opponent can do. For example, Infernities, all they have to do is go first and they win. If they can do the shenanigans, you lose, just because you go second. That's the thing.
Wow.
And this is the stuff that they really need to fix. And I think weapons can be a very good game mechanic.
Well, the weapons thing, I'm not against at all. It's definitely worth trying it out. But as for going first, that has always been an advantage in almost that's been an advantage in every game. It's hard to balance it because you get to go first. You get to set up first. You get to do your things first. It's always an advantage. Even
Hearthstone fixed it.
No, they didn't. They didn't. It looks like they fixed it, but it's an attempt. That's why it's still a beta version. They give us this coin card, which means if you go second, you also get an extra card from your deck. For example, if we were to reflect, that's not bad at all. If you go second in YuGiOh, and if we use Hearthstone ideas, we get to draw the 7th card during our draw phase. But that can also make going first really difficult.
Well,
so going second, if we use the coin idea of Hearthstone, basically what it does, it gives you an extra mana that you can spend for your cards to play them during turn 1. You can basically get a monster on the field that costs 2 mana instead of 1. If you want to know more about Hearthstone, look it up. You can find out the game mechanics. It's pretty simple. It's kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh during the early days,
Yes.
but it's not the same. It's not the same, except you can still play Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity, and Change of Heart or
Wait,
Snatch Steal.
You
type
people
of
both play
cards.
Hearthstone?
We both play Hearthstone.
I do.
Get the fuck off my channel, both of you guys.
Even if Hearthstone makes this attempt of fixing or balancing going second to make sure that you still have a chance to win, they fail miserably because it's only an idea. It's not really doing all that much.
I don't think it'll
The
work in
extra
Yu-Gi-Oh!
card-
At all.
The extra card, no, what Yu-Gi-Oh really needs is a mulligan rule. A mulligan.
No,
do you
no,
know
that's
what that
horrible. That's a horrible idea.
No,
That is very bad.
no, it's perfect.
You got to think about this. I know you're thinking about it in the competitive aspect, but you got to remember what will become competitive in a mulligan if Yu-Gi-Oh gets mulligans.
OTK.
Can you go into
OTKs would be god. Burn would be amazing. Exodia would be king.
Here, how about this? How about this? Okay. Since
Are you sure?
We're trying to
Are you
figure, I kind of agree with him, like, but how about this? Since we're talking about balancing the first turn overpoweredness of being able to set up before your opponent, how about we decide who goes first, and then the player that goes second has the option to mulligan.
Yeah, that's also
Well-
something that could go. I mean, it's kind of like
But
both
that
sides
actually,
need to have the ability to benefit from either going first or second.
Yes.
And not just by going first. Hey, I play Infernities, I'm going first. You're gonna lose.
but I mean, I understand that. But then I actually really do like your thing, D-Fish fan. But this is the little loophole behind it. Let's say I'm playing OTK and I decide to go first all the time or second all the time. Then the mulligan effect still resides with me.
But
Not
your
really,
opponent-
not really. I'll tell you why. There has been a discussion with a lot of people who are trying to propose this new idea to Konami to fix the OTK. There's still OTK decks that
Like
if you
what?
lose to them, it feels like it's an unfair match. And to fix the OTK part, increasing the start of your life points from 8,000 to 10k is probably an attempt to a solution to OTK.
I actually like that a lot too. I've heard that suggestion before many
Yep.
times, and I like that one a lot as well.
I like it a lot too. I actually think that solves the problem. I
Yep.
think it solves a lot of problems. I think it solves all of the problems. That increasing it to
it's-
10k. I mean, OTKs aren't as prevalent as it used to be back in the day, but that
Take a
really
look
does
at-
solve a lot of problems. Monsters aren't that
Yep.
amazing anymore. They'll really get punished for
A
overextending.
lot of decks now need to work harder. A lot of decks that make it easy for them today, they need to work harder on being skillful
Yep.
instead of being trashy and how do you call it? Overhyped and spammy or spamming.
I don't mind the spam decks as long as they're as
I
it
don't mind
has
them either.
a sense of
It's just-
balance. For example, trash wings, they spam whenever they want to, but all of them are trash. So I have no problem with them spamming.
The bias.
But here's
The
thing,
bias
if
is
you
so
take-
evident.
if you take a look at Dragon Rulers. How many hands do I have? How many cards do I have in the hand? You see 4, but actually I have 16.
Dragon rulers are what I would like to call a LeBron James of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a freak of nature that shouldn't happen.
Yes.
So, I mean,
I'm
I
fine.
have to
I'm actually
exclude them.
fine.
Huh?
I'm fine with it because I also see a lot of people beating them up, and that it means they're not so overpowered.
Well-
The problem with Dragon Rulers is that they make other cards look so broken.
They make
People
cards
will always
amazingly
loot.
broken. My problem with Dragon Rulers is that, first of all, they're the first tier 1 deck that does not OTK you. That's a problem, because normally we used to complain about decks OTKing us. Now this tier 1 deck can grind it out with anti-meta. It can summon monsters over mermails. It can disrupt Infernity's first turn loop tricks. Like it has so much power that it's almost invincible. But hey guys, it doesn't OTK you. Like that's stupid. Like
Here's another thing. If for example, take a look at Dragon Rulers. The first turn they summon the Draco sack with the tokens. Then it's your turn. All you can do is either summon one
Waste your
monster that
resources.
deals with the problem, or you need to summon an extra monster. Basically, you need to summon when you go second against someone who has a first turn Draco sack. First, you have to deal with the problem that's already on the field, and second, you need to build your defense for next turn when it's becoming your opponent's turn.
Which is gonna waste your resources.
For a lot of decks that are not Dragon Ruler is very difficult.
That's gonna waste all of your resources.
Yes.
What happened, D-Fish?
And I'll tell you why this is. Look at the cards that Konami has brought out so far. A lot of cards are based about destroying cards instead of sending them back to the hand or sending them back to the deck, because Konami thinks that sending cards back to the hand or the deck is overpowered. It's not. Oh, you can't target this card because look, I have an equip spell equipped to it, stuff like that.
Oh, you talking about Utopia?
No, I'm talking about Noble Knights.
Oh, well, I thought you were talking about Utopia, because I hate Utopia.
Also, yeah, they make cards for certain type of decks, but they neglect all the other decks that scream for that type of support, cannot be targeted.
Well, if everything had a can't be targeted thing, I think that's a little OP. I think every deck should have simple monster removal, simple back row removal, but aside from that, I think no deck should have this card can't be targeted, destroyed by battle, blah blah blah. Like that's stupid.
I'm not necessarily saying it. I'm basically what I'm saying is every type of, or at least archetype of deck should have an increase of a better toolbox before they get outdated. And it doesn't have to be all about this card cannot be targeted. It's just an example. I'm talking about more certain type of support that deals with problems, first turn problems.
Mr. Derek Fisher fan?
Yes.
Do you have anything to contribute to?
Well,
no longer talking about the new TV series.
Yeah, we kind of like just drifted. I mean, it's nothing else more to talk about it. We have no other things. It's coming in spring of 2014. Is that all you guys wanted to know?
His hair is green.
His hair is green and red. I actually like it. It's not bad.
I can already imagine. I can already imagine the Abridged series making another episode with Yusei in it. What's wrong with his hair?
Like, actually, have you guys noticed that he matches from his head to his toe? Like, that's kind of weird.
Really?
Yeah, he has like green pants, red boots, red hair, green hair,
maybe he's
red eyes, huh?
He's a pimp.
He's a pimp. He's a pimp. And these monsters in the background, while I feel like I've known them before, they're like Gaga Magician and Silent Swordsman. But let's get back to the rant because I really don't want to talk about I'm so horrible. Fixing the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is ultimately up to Konami. We can only talk so much. We can only do so much. But as long as the vast majority of people decide to sway with Konami, then we will forever be the people that are long, oppressed, forgotten, and just not imminent enough to change the metagame. While the TheCaliEffect is directed to change this game and change the way people think and play, it's only so much we can do, people.
Do you know the term? Do you know the term nerf? When a game designer or a programmer decides to nerf a certain object or item, what cards do you think should be nerfed? I mean, they did this with Dark Soul, X-Saber Dark Soul.
Yes.
Got nerfed
They
only
nerfed.
once
I think that they
and
hit
only
Dark
that
Soul
turn.
when it was already too late. The card was already not competitive. So,
Yeah, it was bad.
like,
Yeah, but just for that reason, if the whole they call it errata in Yu-Gi-Oh.
yeah, they call it errata. We still call it nerf.
It's
What is genuinely broken in Yu-Gi-Oh?
Lackluster
That is a
Soldier.
good. Well, D-Fish man's gonna say Blackluster Soldier all fucking day.
JD.
he's gonna say overpowered boss monsters that require little setup. I already know you, D-Fish. I already know you.
Cards, okay. In trading card games, it should always be the player with the most skill to win. Does that happen? Hardly ever.
Hardly ever.
But
Never. No card
that
game.
that also doesn't happen in Magic the Gathering because the only thing that matters in Magic the Gathering is card advantage, as opposed to Hearthstone, board advantage matters.
Yep, that's right.
Well, but I'm pretty sure Hearthstone still relies on that luck factor, which is like 90% of the game. And then no matter how much skill you have, you're still going to lose to a sacky player.
The only luck factor in Hearthstone that really matters is when you go second or first. That really matters.
So
Oh yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, well, I think if Yu-Gi-Oh made everything, this is a bad idea. Bad idea alert. Just let you guys know.
I'll tell you an example. I was recently playing as a mage deck. I was going up against a mage, and I was like, I summoned my fairy dragon, which is a 2-mana drop, a very early game type of card. And it cannot be targeted by the hero power or spell cards, which is mostly, if you go up against a mage, a very good strategy. And I had my hand curved out for next turns and the turns after, with exactly the type of mana monsters I needed. And guess what my opponent does during turn 2? He summons the Mad Bomber. And kills my fairy dragon. And ever from that moment, I could not go back into the game.
Huh?
Wow.
Well, what?
Early game destruction.
Huh?
It was a random card. Okay, the card that his
Random number generator decided by Mad Bomber killed the fairy dragon.
Huh?
Yeah.
Ever since that, I couldn't get back into the game. It didn't matter if I had good cards in the deck. What mattered was that the fact that I went second, and the fact that I couldn't do anything with. It didn't matter what monster I summoned. They got destroyed during the next turn.
Huh?
Either by a stealth monster.
Huh?
Damn it, Kelly.
I don't understand a word that just came out of your mouth.
That's Hearthstone.
I heard
It's,
mana, mage, dragon. That was like 3 things that I hate. I hate mana, I hate dragons, and I hate mages. Like, everybody knows that I hate dragons and mages except for you, Sorota.
Basically, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! In the early stages. When it just came out, we could play Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity, Snatch Steal.
That wasn't that broken back then. I love that format. Go Control was one of the most skillful formats, guys.
At some point in time, they became OP. Just like Mind Control, which just steals a monster permanently from your opponent in Hearthstone, is OP. If I play as a druid and I make my taunt creature, which is the only creature they must attack, and I summon him during turn 8, I know you don't understand, but for those who do understand, then turn 8 priest goes, and he uses mind control, steals my creature, there's no way back into the game.
Hey, Zero, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube.
I know. Yu-Gi-Oh! Problems, they have the same thing. There are certain things that an opponent can do. For example, going first with an Infernity deck and setting up that board.
I understand that. See, I understand that. I can talk about that.
That you are either going to win or lose.
Okay, I can understand that. Wow, Infernity.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wow, their ability to just go blah 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 is it's pretty nasty. I don't think it's. I mean, it's not always there. It's luck of the draw. Most games are lucky, mainly because the draw factor and the limitations of certain cards. If you can draw those certain limited cards at the right time, which the cards are limited because there's never a bad time to have them, you will typically have the game in your favor. Now, what I have proposed, which is, like I was saying, a bad idea alert, a horrible idea alert, is to make everything searchable.
Oh, what?
Horrible idea. I told you guys. Horrible idea alert. If you make
not everything, but at least every archetype deck should have some sort of access to it outside the broken effects. I mean, you have Tenki, for example, which deals with...
Whoa. Stop making fun of my Tenki. Tenki's perfectly balanced.
It is balanced. I'm not saying it's OP. It's broken. Huh? It's broken to an extent. It's not totally broken, but it's broken. Broken, in my perspective, means broken that aims for either the type of monster or the attribute of the monster.
You just hate.
Or the attack point. For example, Sengan, 1500 attack points or less. That's quite broken, if you would ask me.
Sengan was broke as shit from the day we saw his face, his ugly little face. Sengan was just to let you guys know, before Tour Guide, Sengan was still broken. Don't say, duh, it's only banned because of Tour Guide, because Sengan, yes, it's still broken. It's broken. The card's broken.
It will always be broken despite Tour Guide.
Yes.
Tour Guide is not a problem. Yeah. I don't mind people playing Tour Guide. If they can play 3 of them, it doesn't make it OP.
Thank you.
I've been watching your discussion video, the same as Reborn Tengu, it is not OP if you can play 3 of them. Actually, the fact that it's semi-limited stops people from playing them at all.
I'm gonna play a Reborn Tengu Tour Guide deck when I play D-Fish Fan.
Yeah.
It's gonna be triple Tour Guide, triple Reborn Tengu. Triple Chaos Sorcerer, triple Veiler.
if you play 2 copies,
It's so bad.
the only 2 copies of Reborn Tango today, and you end up going
I'll laugh at you.
in your turn, and you end up having them both in your hand already, you can forget about it.
But you can say that with anything. But
No, can you say that with Blacklisted Soldier?
no,
But the whole idea about Reborn Tango stops after the first one basically left the field. It's kind of like
the
hard
part you need to focus on is the part you need to focus on is when you get it off to its potential. It's too good.
No, well,
No,
I'm not gonna
it's
deny
not.
that, D-Fish. When you do get off those type of cards to their full potential, they are pretty good. I'm not gonna deny that, but you also have to understand that getting the card off to its full potential isn't as easy as it used to be. I mean, back then, where synchros were everything, you know, the time Reborn Tango got limited, synchros were the only aspect in the game. XCs did come out, I'm pretty sure around that same time, and Reborn Tango starts seeing a little less play because of Xseeds, but now it's the other way around. Xseeds are the thing right now. Reborn Tango can't shine in every deck right now. It can only shine in synchro decks. I think that it has no problem right now. I think it has no effect on the meta whatsoever.
I disagree.
If it comes back at 3, the only thing that people are going to do is experiment with it, and they still find out that it has a limit. If you think it is OP, I would really like to know why in concrete details.
He did it in our discussion.
I've seen people playing at Devpro. I've even been joining them where we had our own ban list. Yes, you can make your own ban list on Devpro and still have 3 copies of them in your deck.
Yeah.
They don't make them OP.
Well,
Really, they don't.
me and Mr. Fisher fan are going to test that
Yeah,
out.
okay, here's the
Definitely.
thing. You can play 3 copies of Reborn Tango. Play them any way you want, but then play them against someone who is good at playing Dragon Rulers.
Well, we need to address that Dragon Rulers. But we're getting I'm pretty sure we're at 40 minutes right now, which I like to cut it off. We're at 41 minutes. So,
Guilty series.
thank you guys for watching another segment of the Cali Effect. Also, be sure to go on and check out Mrs. Sirota's channel. She will start uploading soon enough. I will harass her and message her and do a whole bunch of things to make her start uploading. And also, don't forget to check out Mr. D Fish Fan's channel. An amazing channel when he does post.
You don't have to. I don't even check out my
The struggle.
Gilbert, I do want to apologize for being a little bit dominant in the conversation here. Sorry for that. But my problem is when I have something going on in my mind. I want to make sure I don't forget it. That's why.
It's alright.
I think
we're gonna bring a pen and paper so we all can
I like that.
write down our ideas. But air hug for now, since you guys are not over my house and I'm not over you guys' house. Thank you guys for watching another segment of the Cali Effect. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy.